Chapter 63:45. Simon was stunned when he heard Steve say that. Throughout the ages, no matter the kings or nobles, they all face the same contradiction when it comes to the issue of succession. After the father in power makes his favorite child the heir, he begins to have all kinds of suspicion and defensive psychology toward this son. Their inner monologue is very simple, and it can be summed up in one sentence. I have decided to pass the throne to you, but you can't be anxious now. Once the son shows any signs of anxiety, they will immediately enter another inner monologue. Are you so anxious to take over my position? Are you hoping that I will die soon? Simon is no exception. He is also worried that his eldest son is too eager to succeed to the throne. So he has been doubly wary of him since he publicly made Steve the heir. However, what he didn't expect was that this eldest son took the initiative to leave the United States and go abroad to gain experience, which touched his heart. He was willing to pass the position of the head of the family to Steve after his death, or when he lost his management ability. But that was not now. Now Steve was willing to go out to gain experience, which was a good thing for him. His son went overseas, which was equivalent to leaving the base camp. And he could stay in the base camp and be his patriarch without worrying that his son would suddenly usurp power one day. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but feel happy in his heart, thinking that his eldest son was indeed filial. Although he was already the first heir of the family, he was not in a hurry to succeed. So, he suppressed his joy and asked Steve, "Going overseas for experience is a good thing, but it will be hard. You are away from home and you are separated from your family for a long time. It is also a test. Have you thought about it?" "Yes, Father, I have thought about it," Steve answered very straightforwardly and said seriously, "My father will make the final decision on major family decisions, so there will be no problems. I also want to take advantage of my father's youth and gain more experience and accumulation outside. I think the young core members of the Rothschild family can't all stay in the United States to enjoy life. Sometimes, they have to go out and take a look. But before, everyone was more greedy for the decadence of the United States, and no one wanted to leave. I hope that I set an example this time, so that more young people can see the outside world." Simon looked at his son and saw that he was not joking. He couldn't help but exclaimed with great relief, "Okay. It's agreed. The core members of the Rothschild family should go around and look. Otherwise, if this continues, the family will only go further and further downhill." Steve's words touched Simon's heart. The core members of the Rothschild family did what he said. No one wanted to leave the United States. As for why, Simon knew very well that the whole family was like a gold mountain. And this gold mountain was in the United States. Everyone wanted to guard the gold mountain, not only to have the opportunity to make a fortune at any time, but even if the person sitting on the gold mountain died one day, everyone could immediately grab the wealth on the gold mountain nearby. In this case, leaving the gold mountain for a long time to go overseas is equivalent to giving up the opportunity to get a share of the gold mountain. As the patriarch, Simon often did not want his brothers and grandchildren to stay with him. The emperors in ancient times were no exception. With so many sons around them, everyone would feel cold on their backs. They drove those adult sons out of the capital, let them be crowned kings in various places, monitor their every move, and then used other crown princes to check and balance each other, so that they would be honest and dare not mess around. However, this family is not a royal family after all. They do not have the strict rules and hierarchy of feudal society. In addition, during World War II, they suffered many massacres and looting overseas. Since then, the core members of the Rothschild family have begun to retreat to the United States. At first, they retreated, but later, no one wanted to leave. Now, Steve took the initiative to leave the United States.